What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis from Drone Camps RC, and I have something new here from Geprc. As usual, guys, it's very interesting to see a new product released from Geprc. If you've watched my videos in the past on Geprc gear, the bind and fly drones that Geprc releases usually end up being in my top 5 for that category, and they just keep releasing bind and flies that are reliable with the flight controller, the motors, and the ESCs, and the camera systems on there. So this one is the Cinelog30 with my Geprc decased GoPro Hero 8. This is already decased and built up for you. You can check this out in the link down below, along with the Cinelog30. We're going to review this one today, and we're going to fly it freestyle. We're also going to fly a long flight. I'm going to show you a little bit of cinema stuff, and I have some good news to report back from the Polar Vista testing. This one is also using the Polar Vista. It has a 4S battery configuration on here. You can do from a 650 milliamp up to an 1100 size milliamp battery. So that's 1100 milliamp. I'll put some links down below for my battery choices for long flight. 650 for freestyle. You're going to get like 3 to 3.5 minutes on the 650. So I suggest going for the larger battery of the two. The 1100 will also freestyle, no problem. So this is also the same power system on here as the Geprc Smart 3.5, which was a rocket. It is the competitor to Emax's Baby Hawk 2 HD that we reviewed on the channel a while back. It has 3.5-inch props on that 3.5. So this is a 3.0. This is a Cinelog30, which means that this one is rocking 3-inch props. So right away, this quad has duality. It has all the best of both worlds here. We have amazing freestyle capability, and we have awesome cinema footage. So if you want to do real estate fly-throughs, if you want to do professional video with this, if I was a professional videographer and I had my van loaded down with video gear and I was going out on a shoot and I wanted to chase people on mountain bikes and not hurt them as I was filming, or anybody else, this would be the ultimate rig, because you could send this with DJI digital FPV through just about any mountain bike course. You could film skateboarding with it, you can film surfing with it, you could film drift car racing. It is pretty fast. The higher you tilt up this camera, the faster you go. So goes just about as fast as you want. I'm not sure if it's as fast as the DJI FPV drone, but it's a heck of a lot cheaper. So, but it's going to be more durable than the DJI FPV drone by far. So if you're a video professional watching this video, you're about to see some amazing stuff in this review. So also, guys, if you are subscribed to my channel, make sure that you do 2 things in this video. 1, subscribe, and 2, make a comment down below, because this might be the last video until the giveaway. We're going to release the winner of the giveaway for July before the end of this month on the channel. So you have to be a subscriber, number 1, and you have to make a comment on this video to get entered. So that drawing is from all the comments in this month's videos. So we're going to compile that. We're going to pull out the person who's the winner, and I'm going to send that Eachine Novice 4 with GPS. It has a radio in the box, a charger, everything you need to get flying with the exception of a couple batteries. So about a $400 value right there. So and I put my glasses here today so you can kind of get a reference of scale and see how small this little guy is. This is great, and there's an analog version as well. They have an analog version on the site. I believe it's around 200 and like 219 without a receiver, and 249 with something like a Crossfire, a Nano on there. You can also get this one HD, and the HD price starts about $359. So it's about in the same price range. By the time you add a $500 Geprc decased GoPro Hero 8 on here, you're getting pretty expensive. But the videos that you can make with this combo are going to be some of the most amazing videos out there on YouTube. So I asked for this for months from Geprc, and I kept I'll put these little Easter eggs in my videos, and the companies do watch the videos, and they listen to the comments. They're always listening to our community, which is really great. And that's how we have all this innovation. It's thanks to you guys, your comments in the videos, and the reviewers. When we ask these companies for stuff behind the scenes, they go and develop this stuff within weeks. And it's amazing that they can do this because we get awesome products from all of the commentary that we put back into FPV hobby. It's freaking cool. So here we are with something that I asked for 6 months ago when the 2.5 inch inverted pusher Cinewhoop craze kicked off. I was like, man, I want to see a 3 inch. And I kept talking to my contact at Gep, and here it is, the Cinelog30. We now have a pusher 3 inch. And you know, if Santa Claus is listening, I'd love to see a 4 inch and a 5 inch pusher configuration for Cinewhoop. I mean, this thing feels like a rocket for freestyle, and it's ultra smooth for cinema. So I think a DK GoPro on a 4 inch version of this and a 5 inch version would also just be tons of fun. And the great thing about an inverted motor design, the motors are inverted, but the props are not. What that does is it creates a solid airflow out from under the quad instead of through the frame. When you have the motors on top of the frame, it creates a little more prop wash and kind of disorganized airflow underneath the quad. So that results in, it affects the flight performance and it affects the tune on the quad. So it's very minor, but this does make a difference having a pusher style setup, and that makes everything smoother. So great tune on this one, and amazing performance on 4S for freestyle and cinema. This thing is a freaking ripper or ultra smooth. So either way you go with this one, this one's a win. For the price, it's worth every single penny. So let's go outside now and let's get it on, you guys. We're gonna send it hardcore. We're gonna do some power loops with it. I'm gonna do some knife edge orbits with it and some other freestyle stuff, and we're also going to do some one long flight. So just kick back, enjoy the footage, and I will see you after the flight break, and we'll talk about this on the bench, and I'll give you the specs and all the good stuff and some bad stuff. Here we go. Okay guys, here we go for the freestyle test. You're going to see the Cadex Polar FPV DVR in the bottom right. Geprc Hero Decased Hero 8 is in the center of the screen here, and we're just going to go straight for some freestyle. Yep, I got a bump right there, and wasn't quite used to the throttle yet, but you know, this is the first time I've flown the Cinelog30, and I'm just going for straight up power loops, and we're going to do an orbit knife edge right here, just testing out, see how stable the flight controller is. And what's kind of crazy is that, yeah, this is considered to be a Cinewhoop, so 3 inch Cinewhoop category with the same type of FPV power system as the freaking Smart 35. So I was expecting that this one might be a rocket on these 1404 motors, and really nice ESC power combo with the F4 flight controller, just performing nicely without washout or tumble. It's not giving me any kind of flight controller freak out. I mean, I've never done this kind of freestyle with any type of Cinewhoop ever, and that's something to be said in the 3 inch category. It's kind of groundbreaking that a pusher is able to do all the same things that a typical freestyle rig can do with prop guards. So that adds a lot of safety for filming around your friends, or you know, if you're getting close to your buddy there, or you're flying around somebody that's on a skateboard, surfboard, bicycle, whatever it's going to be. You can really get in there with these types of rigs because this thing is only 250 grams, and you can really get those wild and different style cinema shots that you might be looking for as a videographer. So this is kind of cool and definitely usable with the battery cost and the performance. So you can get a handful of batteries for fairly cheap. I'm running a 4S 1100 in this freestyle flight test, but enough of the freestyle. Let's go into some longer cinema style now, and I'm just going to let you guys enjoy this footage and kick back and relax and see what kind of amazing stuff you can do with the Cinelog30 with the Geprc Hero 8 and some cinema style flying. Enjoy. All right, guys, there it is. The proof that this one is a 3-inch Cinewhoop inverted pusher with a decased GoPro Hero 8 and a 4S 650 battery at 250 grams, right on the money. So this one doesn't have to be registered with all of this gear on here. So if you're looking to fly something that's 250 grams or under for cinema purposes or freestyle, this is great. So my scale just went up a little bit, but you saw it, 250 grams. That's fantastic. So this will be the minimum size battery that I'm going to suggest. This is the GNB 650 milliamp battery, and that one is really nice and lightweight, and typically that's what I fly on the 2.5 inch. I'm going to suggest that you fly for longer flights, go for the 4S 1100 milliamp battery. That's the one that I really liked. And it is nice that they're including the new HD DJI polar camera on here, because I feel like the testing on this one so far has been good for me. It is a starlight camera. You can also fly this at night, and it is adjustable so that you can see you can change up the brightness, contrast, color ratio, and it's crazy because you can see grass at night with this camera, and the grass looks green instead of black and white. So you're getting color at night now with this camera, which is crazy. Starlight cameras have been around in FPV for quite some time now, but we haven't seen one for the HD FPV systems yet, and here it is. So your wish has come true again. And this is motor to motor. We have a frame on here. It's a unibody top plate. It is 126 millimeters from motor to motor, and it's kind of an X configuration. We have battery on the top mount. The battery here, actually, the strap in the box, the small strap comes on this. It will work with the 4S 650. They also give you a longer strap on here, which will accommodate something like the 4S 850 or 1100 size battery. The top plate is 2mm 3K carbon fiber, and it does have beveled edges on here, which is super sweet. We have those 3-inch HQ props that come along with it. Mine came with black installed, and it also came with an extra set of the red propellers in there, which is super nice. And like I mentioned before, it comes with 2 of these decased GoPro mount clips that go on here. So I'm talking about the base plate right here. There's 2 screws that hold it on. Those are 2mm screws that go down through, and there's a TPU mount on the very bottom underneath this carbon plate right here. This is a 2mm beveled 3K carbon plate with dampening that the polar camera sits on underneath here, and the decased GoPro sits on. So you've got total dampening here, and that's great for the tune in the camera and the vibes in this cinema camera above our DJI camera. So FPV system down here, and you've got your cinema camera up top. So it's so cool that this is under 250 grams, guys, or right at 250. I'm just blown away with that fact. At this size, it's kind of crazy. It reminds me of the ultralight 5-inch rigs that we've seen recently in the past couple years, getting them at 250G or under. I mean, getting a 5-inch under 250 grams is a heck of a challenge for engineers. Now, down bottom, we have the Vista unit, and that has plenty of airflow down here, so it doesn't get hot, even running 700 milliwatt. It was kind of a pain to get in here and get the USB port and get this one kind of updated and activated with DJI. This prop guard can be kind of bent down a little bit. You can get your USB-C cable in here, but it was kind of tight. So that might be a con of this design. I wish that maybe this was flipped upside down and the USB port was down here, because man, it was hard to get to. So that's going to be some of my bad commentary for the review of this quad. Now, the USB-C or the USB Android micro USB port on this side was easier to get to. You can see it right under there, and it's totally accessible for you guys to get to beta flight. So that's the F4 AIO that comes with this one. It's 35 amp, and I've flown this one before. It's the Gep F411 35 amp AIO flight controller. It does great with the 1404 motors, and these are SpeedX branded motors. They are inverted, and again, the prop is right side up. and we have props out configuration on this quad. So that is nice and smooth for Cinewhoop type of flying. You have Betaflight OSD incorporated to the DJI FPV system in here, and you can move things around on the screen inside Betaflight, which is super cool. We also have the Cadex Polar antenna back here, which is kind of making its debut. And I have to say, go back and look at the long flight. This did great above and way out in the field. And it's the first time I've seen it. It has a little bit of a bend to it, which is also kind of nice. For crashes, this is going to be super durable. And it's also mounted right through a TPU mount in the back, which also has spots for XM Plus antennas, and it also comes with an extra TPU mount where you can get an Immortal T back here for Crossfire Nanos, which is also super sweet. So a lot of cool stuff for the accessories in the bundle. You get some extra hardware too, which I think is great. But overall, I'm really happy with the fact that this one came out, and it's just proving to be a winner from Geprc. I mean, if you asked me, which one would you get? Would you get the Crown or would you get the Cinelog30? I kind of prefer this format over even the Crown, because the Crown is much bigger, and it's not 250 grams. So yeah, this is what I would do if I was, wanting to fly for 6 to 8 minutes on a 4S 650 and be at 250 grams. This is the jam. So it has a little bit of everything here, and it's not giving me bad washout. And I would say that I think these prop guards are going to be fairly durable. I think this one will be a great quad if you're moving from something like an Emax Tiny Hawk 2 or the Geprc Tiny Go. Get this, and you will love your journey into FPV. Use this as an acro trainer for a larger format. Take this off there and practice your freestyle with this, because you have prop guards and it will bounce in the grass, and it's likely not to break in the grass. If you hit concrete, there's always a chance you're going to break something on an FPV race quad or a tiny whoop. So take that with a grain of salt. Durability, it depends on the pilot. So I would say that this one is going to be fairly durable for a beginner too. Now, one other thing besides this is great. 5 stars on this release. Grab this one, snap it up. This one should be it should be a sellout as far as freestyle and cinema. So 2 thumbs up for this Geprc Cinelog30. It's freaking amazing. Now, one last thing I had to show you in this review that is for the guys out there that want to fly 5.8 and go way freaking out there. This guy right here is brand new from Geprc, and I'm so happy they sent me one of these to test out for you guys. I know this is going to perform well. This is the Rad VTX 5.8 gigahertz, 1.6 watt, baby. 1.6 watt will send you out there for long range, 5 miles plus. This is the ultimate long range 5.8 VTX. I mean, we're talking about high power here. If you want to really send it out there, you can get way out there with this guy. And look how beautiful it is. Isn't that nice looking? It has, let me see if I can get it right in the light there for you, but this guy has some cool stuff on here. It has pit mode, which means that you can fly this on an FPV race quad. You can basically turn off the power to this VTX and then adjust your channel or band without interrupting anybody sitting next to you, which is super cool. It has smart audio on here. It does 25, 200, 600, and 1600 milliwatt. Now, be careful in the United States. Some countries around the world have banned anything over 1 watt. So, United States, you guys aren't supposed to turn this up to 1600 milliwatts. So, yeah. Up top, we also have an MMCX connector, which is legit. This is what you want. The UFL connectors for a long range, I've done it, but they can pop off and cause you to lose video. So if you're flying long range, again, make sure you're flying GPS. It's just crazy not to fly the GPS when you're flying long range. We also have a button here for changing bands and channels. If you long press it, you can also change the power. And back here we have our inputs, and it comes with a harness, and it comes with
a dipole antenna also in the box. And actually it looks like they give us 2 dipoles here. If I can get it out. They have, oh sweet, this is not a dipole, this is for a full-size antenna. So if you want to put some other type of right-hand circular polarized antenna on here, you can screw that on and put this on any quad. And that's a right turn MMCX right there, and this would be your straight plug in there. So plugs in right here on the end, snaps into place. Much more reliable than the UFL connector, the smaller ones. So this is legit right here. This is nice, and it looks like it's set up to be, looks like a 30 by 30 type of mount. It's for a larger rig. It's not really for small Cinewhoops. This is for your big daddy I would say 6-inch quad or a 7-inch quad if you really want to send it. So I like that they named it Rad. I'm kind of partial to that. You also get some more hardware in here, and this is much larger, 30 by 30 type of mounting hardware. And it looks like they also put some nice dampeners in there. And you get your wiring for the harness that goes in the back. And we have, looks like the range on here is pretty good too. It's 7 volt to 36 volt, which is sweet. You've got your video in. You've got 5 volt video out as well. If you want to power a camera from this, 5 volt out and ground. And your smart audio channel on IRC. Smart audio, pretty cool. And this is the instruction manual. IRC tramp protocol, which is super sweet. So a lot of cool stuff here. There should be tons of different channels as well and bands. It's probably somewhere around 48 channels and 5 or 6 bands. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bands. Yeah, 8 channels per band. So Boss Cam, Fat Shark, and Race Band there. Pretty sweet. So you can check this one out in the link down below if you want some high power 5.8 gigahertz video. That's going to be super solid back to your goggles. Yeah, this will get you way out there. So super cool new product. I haven't seen Geprc release anything super high powered. I have been flying for a long time AKK VTXs, because those were some of the highest power 5.8 video transmitters out there on the planet. They were up to 2 watt with one of theirs. The thing would get smoking hot, and I was scared to turn it up to 2 watt. It was too much. It would fry it. So anytime during the summer, you got to be super careful when you're flying a high-powered VTX. But very cool releases from Geprc this month. So I'm happy to give you guys some show and tell as always on the channel. And again, make sure you get your comment down below in this video, because we're getting ready to, in a day or two, we're giving away the Eachine Novice 4. And I'm going to hold on to this VTX and put it probably on an FPV wing. That would be a really nice VTX for an FPV wing. But that's what's new from Geprc, guys. Get your comments in and subscribe on the channel. And as always, be sure to click like on the video if you like my content and you enjoyed this video and maybe you learned something today on the channel. Hopefully you did. And guys, take care. I'll see you on the next video. Be well, stay humble, and be kind out there to everybody in the FPV community. Bye-bye.